Alright guys, Fulu coming to you with another quick video. Um, yeah man, so I think that now that Arthur beterbiev showed some vulnerability in the fight against Marcus Browne, Canelo will probably fight him. As a general rule with Canelo, you have to kind of show like some vulnerability in order for Canelo to fight you. You know, if you're a top guy. If you're not a top guy, he won't like, how should I say it, like bother with you if you're at the peak of your powers. But if you show some vulnerability, that's when Canelo will fight you. You know, that's how he likes to do things. We already know that to be the case. But anyhow, that fight with Marcus Browne and Arthur beterbiev, it really just kind of came down to I think with Marcus Browne, he did some good work. He did some really good work actually. The problem is just him being stalked down, him being stalked down, him being stalked down, him being stalked down. And eventually that pressure got to him. You know how they say pressure busts pipes? You know, eventually the pressure busts the pipe, you know, of Marcus Browne. He was doing some good boxing in the earlier stages of the fight. But then, like in the later stages of the fight, is when he basically kind of lost his way. It started with the headbutt. Once they headbutted each other, that's when the decline of Marcus Browne began. Now granted, Arthur beterbiev's cut was bigger. You know, he had the bigger cut when they headbutted each other. But I think you saw the end of the fight coming when Arthur beterbiev was able to close the distance. The thing is that Arthur beterbiev, he doesn't move his head that much. He doesn't really use head movement, but he was able to shift using a couple of angles and stuff like that. And that eventually was all she wrote, you know. Once he did that, and once he landed, and once he dropped Marcus Browne, I don't know if Marcus Browne really recovered from being dropped the first time. And then the second time, I think in the 7th round, is when it was all over. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, I'm just gonna keep this video very brief. I really think that Marcus Browne would that Arthur beterbiev would cater to Canelo right now due to a couple of factors. The speed factor, maybe, and also the vulnerability factor now, you know, because now you look at Marcus, you know, Marcus Browne made him look vulnerable in certain parts of the fight, you know. He was made out to look vulnerable. So with that being said, his vulnerability will, you know, appeal to Canelo, obviously. So that may be the next fight for him. You know, that very well may be the next fight for Canelo will be Arthur beterbiev fight, because of his vulnerability in this fight. kudos to Arthur Beterbiev for weathering the storm of the headbutt and actually delivering it, and actually doing subtle little movements in order to offset the things that Marcus Browne was doing. And I think, Marcus Browne just didn't have enough on his punches to really hurt beterbiev, But salute to Marcus Browne as well. He did good work at the beginning. He was doing his thing, but eventually the pressure got to him and he was knocked out in the 7th, I believe. It was either the 7th or the 8th, and it was a body shot. But kudos to him. Respect for him getting in there with him. And we'll just have to wait to see what happens. Fulu signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments, like and subscribe to the page. Jarama.